You don't need an expensive console.
Gaming has gotten incredibly expensive in 2026. So today we're trying some actually affordable gaming gear under 250 bucks, starting with this, the Next Playground. Now this thing was all over the place last year. In fact, this actually outsold the Xbox Series S and X, if you can believe that, on Amazon over the holiday season.
No, I believe it.
The pitch here is that this is a device that is designed to almost kind of bring back those old school Wii vibes. It is a lot of like, Fruit Ninja.
Bro, do people really, do you still be playing Kinect games? Did people ever really play Kinect games? Well, yeah, I guess we did. Nintendo Wii, that's low-key Kinect. But I feel like that's like a once-a-week thing with the fam. Is there people really playing Kinect games in the room by themselves, twin? I just feel like there's so much effort in for what? If I wanted to move that much, I'd just go to the gym. I genuinely feel like Kinect might have been one of the worst gaming ideas ever. No cap, no cap. And I don't even know what the PlayStation version of it was. I had that too. But again, just looking back, bro, all of that was trash. Absolute trash.
Did my phone just fling out of the back of my pocket? Yeah, it did. Now, we paid, I think, exactly $250 for this, right?
We paid $240.
240 bucks. Now, this used to be I think $200 or less. However, they've seen price hikes. Bust a move. Oh, I like it. It's got a little camera sticking out. Ooh, kind of dense. Actually surprisingly heavy. There was this whole thing in the mid 2010s where everyone decided they wanted to make a $100 little micro console and that was going to be the future. Turned out that was not, in fact, the future. I mean, it's so simple. I assume on the inside, this thing's basically just a glorified smartphone. HDMI, power adapter.
I feel like if you have a small form factor console, that only works is if the power is equivalent. I won't even say equivalent, but acceptable to what the main one is. I don't want to buy a small console and try to boot up Spider-Man or something and it's running at 15 frames per second. You know what I'm saying? But I do think the idea can work, but it just has to be executed correctly.
And that's it. And the remote. Now, this is not a controller. It is a remote. What the hell? What a weird little, it's so long. Why is there a little dingus on it? Does it stay on the camera?
Oh,
you can cover the camera when you're not using it.
Wow.
It's actually a nice, delightful little piece of hardware, but is it actually any fun to play? So we've got it plugged in now, so it's telling me to use the cable provided in the box. Here's some stuff our lawyers want to tell you. We don't share your stuff without your permission. I don't know if that's legally binding, but sure, let's go for it. Avoid clothes with patterns, long sleeves, or colors that match your walls. This is the rare time I'm not wearing some absurdly annoying looking shirt. Cool, great. We'll see how robust it is. I hope it's not that finicky, because you remember when you're using Kinect and stuff? Kinect was actually good. It wasn't just a camera, it actually had a number of sensors and stuff. Oh my God, hi, it's me. Punch the balls, punch the balls, punch the balls, punch the balls.
You know what I'm saying, twin?
Starter pack, which has Miramma, Bluey, Bowling, Starry, Home Run Heroes, Dora. Starting to get the idea that this might be meant for children. Here we go. So here's the thing that a lot of people criticize the Next Playground for. It comes with a few games. It also has the Play Pass. This is essentially their version of Xbox Game Pass or whatever, but you can't buy games. You can only sign up for the Play Pass. Is it a yearly subscription? How does the Play Pass actually work?
That'll be $89 for a year.
Oh,
or $49 for 3 months.
What the hell math is that? So you're not only paying $240 for the actual system itself, but another $90 a year just to subscribe to the games. Let's see what happens if I don't buy those games and I just play the stuff that's included. Let's do Fruit Ninja, because that feels like the obvious one, right? Don't move my hands, don't move my hands. I don't remember if Fruit Ninja was ever on Kinect, but I feel like I've done this version in the arcade before. Some stuff, fruit!
Oh.
See what I'm saying? Though? You look like a doofus, bro. Who is doing this? Who's doing this at home? Why would this be the game you choose to play? I mean, me personally, bro, whenever I'm gaming, I like to relax, sit down, unwind probably from a hard day at work. Not get in my room and work out, twin. That's just not what I was trying to do. There might be a target audience for that, but I'm just not it.
No! That's actually
And personally, I just can't see anybody want to do that except kids.
not bad. I want to try Starry. Even though this is going to get us copyright claimed. Rhythm games feel like what's obviously you're meant to do with this, right? A little DDR action, except it uses my upper body. Do I want to learn, or do I just want to listen to Imagine Dragons? Can I not do either? Apologies, friends, for the copyrighted music we're about to play. We're just gonna have to change it to not copyrighted music. Performance seems not great. Oh, dude, it's like freaking lagging. What, wait, okay, I probably should have done the tutorial. I just stepped over, I see. I will freely admit, I am definitely not the target audience for something like this. This is not like a hardcore gaming console. This is designed as a toy that lives sort of under your TV, that's, for like party games and that kind of thing. I'll say though that the pricing is a lot of money. I don't know that I want to pay $90 a year for Brainy Inc. I mean, maybe I do, but I'm not gonna find out. Who wants to pay a subscription for your games? Not this guy, except Xbox Game Pass sometimes. But may I present to you the Trimui Brick. I feel like through various like Temu and Amazon videos, we've tried a lot of little emulators. And I will tell you, they've gotten incredibly good over the last few years.
Facts. I had a Odin before my Steam Deck joined, and I ain't gonna lie, I got a lot to get use out of it. I was surprised by how much by how like useful it was and how well it played like PS2 and behind games. But yeah, for those games, bro, I ain't gonna lie, them emulators be going dumb. I fully support them.
This one was below $100, right, Alex?
$80.
$80. Your thoughts on emulation aside and how you source your ROMs. I keep all my games manually dumped. So there's a 3.2-inch IPS display. It has a metal back shell, RGB lighting effect. Dude, that's actually really small. I have huge hands for context. While it's not gonna be in this video properly, this is the Analog Pocket. Generally speaking, my favorite sort of Game Boy style emulator. Look at how much bigger it is than the Brick. The reason this is not in the video, it is technically $250. It's just usually out of stock and it's been around for a few years. Buttons, not bad. Oh, actually, it's kind of interesting. Oh, the Analog Pocket died. Oh, it does come with a micro SD card, which I'm sure is pretty populated for me. So we had some LEDs and actually, wow, there's a lot here. Woo, wow, that actually looks really bright. So you've got classic games, Castlevania, Bomberman, nostalgic games. I'm not familiar with this interface. What are we gonna search for to make sure, of course, it's not on here? How about Pokemon? There's no Pokemon on here, good, glad.
So the processor is a quad-core ARM Cortex A53.
So fairly weak. I've got Crash Bandicoot right now, let's give it a try. Wait. This is the Game Boy Advance version of Crash? I mean, the screen looks fantastic. In fact, it's almost a little too bright on camera. Performance looks great. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, it's Game Boy Advance, right? You have PPSSPP, okay. Ooh, this might be too much for the PSP. Also, I'm realizing that with only a D-pad, I'm very limited in the kind of games I do want to play. I mean, it seems to run okay, but that's not actually it. Let's maybe try a PS1 game. Ace Combat, let's go. Oh, wow. Speaker's actually not bad. This plays really well. In fact, I would almost say it almost plays smoother than the PS1. This thing is pretty damn rad for like 80 bucks. Buttons feel good, the screen's fantastic. We're probably gonna wanna be a little bit limited in the kind of games you play on this, but honestly, this might be like my favorite little emulator if we were gonna ignore the next one I'm about to show you at least. May I present to you, my friends, the Ein Thor.
You're Thor?
I am Thor.
And I want y'all to know, Ein is the same company that created Neo. So I haven't seen this specific product, but I'm sure it's pretty good.
Thor is probably the most exciting, I don't even want to call it an emulator handheld because this is a full-on Android device. Now,
it's $700. This is supposed to be inexpensive stuff. That's more than a Steam Deck. Well, it was more than a Steam Deck. We've seen them prices now. But dang, $700? I bought my Odin for $250. Jesus. Game prices are getting crazy. And I think everybody knows that, but $700 for an emulation device? Jesus.
We are cheating a little bit because this was actually featured on Mystery Tech recently with Kyle. You can go check that video out, but it is meant to be much more so like a kind of DS or 3DS style dual screen emulator. So from the outside, like it doesn't feel amazing, like it's kind of like sort of like cheapy plastic, but it actually has active cooling, and that's because this thing actually has some real performance. Remind me again, What's the spec? Because this is a much more powerful handheld.
This is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2.
That's a flagship chip from just a couple of years ago. And one of the downsides with this one is that, the brick came preloaded, ready to go. This is a little bit more of an advanced device because it actually requires some setup.
Hey, this little dude, Retro Game Course, bro, he be going dumb. If y'all need any like tutorials for the Steam Deck, any handheld device ever, honestly, Retro Game Course, he be going dumb.
So I believe the top display is 16:9 if I remember right. The bottom was 4:3, but they're both OLED. So you have almost reminiscent of Switch style sticks. So they're kind of sunken in so it actually closes. And because it's running Android, you can actually play games that are designed just as Android apps and games too. Alex, what's the price of a device like this?
So there's like 5 different versions of this. The very, very cheapest is $250.
Okay. 250, I get with it. 250, I could get with it. 700, nah.
Now, we bought kind of like the second to highest tier.
The Pro.
And we bought that for $250 basically.
The light version, I believe, just has mostly just less performance, right? That's the main thing it's missing.
Yeah.
I think that this is powerful enough to run RPCS 3, right? Actually, like PS3 emulation.
I'm not gonna say that it's gonna run perfectly, obviously.
Why don't we play some Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness? Why not? Almost all of these emulators need a little bit of coaxing. As you can see, I've loaded up my game and it's running on the bottom display. There we go. Okay, I did it.
Yay.
The speakers, and especially these OLEDs, are phenomenal. Dang, dude, that's actually properly smooth. I've never played Coliseum or Gale of Darkness on this before. This feels like it's a puzzle. I need to figure out how to not die immediately. He's gonna rain dance, so I need to sunny day, right? Okay, come on, you got it, my boy. Ah! There we go. I am Pokemon Master. And the Ein Thor is friggin' rad. Is it cheating to include this in a video when I'm talking about $250 items? Maybe. But I would say that the light version of this does offer a lot of the same sort of features at $250. And let's be honest, by the time you watch this video, half these items might have already seen price hikes. It's just what's happening at this point. If you want a emulator that's gonna handle sort of like lighter weight things, like the Tremuli brick is fantastic, 2 thumbs up. If, however, you wanna play stuff that's a little bit more modern, this does technically have the horsepower to at least give it a fair shot. On the emulator side, I'm feeling good. But who wants to play old games? I want to play new games.
How new?
Well, not that new. We only have $250.
You know what's crazy, twin? I be realizing one of the reasons I don't need to upgrade a lot of the time is because I'm not playing that many new games. Like, don't get me wrong, like my PC can handle new games, but most of the games that I'm playing are 10 plus years old. Like in the past month, the games that I have put in the most time in are Skyrim, Fallout 4, Skate 3, and Max Payne 3, which are all games that came out over 10 years ago. And I didn't even think about this fact until like I was talking to my little cousin. Like actually it was today. And I was playing Fallout 4 on my Steam Deck. And he was like, "Oh, what game is this?" And I was like, "Oh, Fallout 4." And he was like, "I never heard of this. When did this come out?" Like 2015, 2016. You ain't never heard of it? He was like, "No, I was born in 2017. Yikes. Yikes. Way to make me feel old, twin. And I think the part that makes me feel the oldest is because I genuinely like remember when Fallout 4 came out. Like I was at a midnight release at GameStop. And I was still relatively young at the time. I was like 12, but to have vivid memories of something somebody told you they weren't alive for, I see why older people be feeling like they old.
Now, if you're looking for a name brand Sony or Xbox or Nintendo handheld, your options at this point under $250 are almost non-existent. However, there are a couple, and one of which would be the PlayStation Portal. Now,
I feel like this is one of the dumbest devices to ever come out, because if y'all don't know, the PlayStation Portal does not actually play the game. Like, it doesn't run the game. It's just streaming the game. Like, why? And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, to play the PlayStation Portal, don't you have to be on the same Wi-Fi? So genuinely, you have to be in your house, which just negates every bit of portability, which I feel like is the main point for a handheld. I don't know. PlayStation Portal was dumb to me.
This is a very nebulous inclusion in this list because not only while this used to be $200, it's now $250. It's not really a standalone game console. So if you're unfamiliar, the Portal, essentially it looks like a handheld, but there's no like performance on the inside. It is entirely reliant on streaming. The primary use of the Portal is to use it alongside your PS5 so you can stream games directly from your PS5 to the Portal. The other use for the Portal is cloud streaming, which is a thing you don't need a PS5 to use. And I will say that this is actually a fantastic piece of hardware to use. So
I ain't gonna lie, cloud streaming, a lot of people don't like it. I don't think cloud streaming is that bad. I really don't. I mean, don't get me wrong, would it be how I play my games at home? Actually, maybe. I did like 5-6 hours of Cyberpunk with cloud streaming. It wasn't bad. Like, I didn't feel input lag, like nothing. Like, I felt really good doing it. I don't know if that's good for like consumers going forward, because that's gonna make a lot of people like not buy machines and just buy things like this. At the same time, twin, if they raising prices as much as they have, realistically, what other choice do we got?
it's essentially a DualSense with a giant tablet stuck to the middle. It sucks because this is like the price that you used to pay to get like a PSP. But at this point, that's not happening. Let's play some Ghost of Yotei. Wait, oh, is this? It wants me to buy it.
Oh, I remember.
Is this the wrong account? It's also frozen.
That's fun.
PS5 is connected to, right here, connected via Ethernet for the best results. I think the PS5 fell asleep. It's off! The PS5 crashed. Great, don't you? Yep, it's doing the angry beep. It is usually better than this, but like, it's just bugging. Assuming that this is a smooth experience, which normally it's better than this. Help me out here, Alex. The Portal itself costs now $250.
Yes.
The actual subscription, you need the top tier of PlayStation Plus.
That is $20 a month or $160 a year.
The performance and the quality level of it is pretty good, but you'll see, I mean, there's definitely latency, right? Like, again, this is like the best case scenario. So right now, the PS5 is on my local network, it is plugged in via Ethernet, and it is like playable, but it's playable for the kind of game that you would normally play at 30 FPS. I mean, I'm not dropping a lot of frames, but it definitely does not feel, oh yeah, now we're dropping frames. I just wish it wasn't so reliant on the honestly not very good Wi-Fi that's built in. If you really like the idea of a Portal, I'll be honest with you, you can just take your DualSense, pair it to your phone, and use remote play that way.
That's what I was gonna ask. Can you just do a PlayStation subscription and just stream it to your phone? Like, why would you not just do that? Like, why would you buy a whole device to do that? I don't know. That is another reason why I feel like the PlayStation Portal was one of the dumbest things to ever come out. That doesn't make sense. PlayStation should have thought about that.
It's almost like, it's exactly what I'm about to suggest you to do, isn't it? Well, may I present to you the GameSir X5 Lite. Now, full disclosure, while this video is not sponsored by GameSir, we have done some sponsorships with GameSir in the past over on our This Is channel. The idea with this, and again, you can really sub this out for a bunch of other options, is that your phone does, I don't know, a whole lot. It not only watches beautiful Austin Evans videos, emphasis on the beauty. Your phone has not only games that you can play locally, but also cloud streaming, and usually your phone's gonna have a more powerful Wi-Fi radio than something like that's built into the Portal. And the real advantage here with this is that this is one of the more higher quality handheld controller options that are certainly not that expensive. Just right off the rip, Alex, how much do we pay for the GameSir X5?
This is by far our cheapest item at $35.
Now this does say it technically is designed for Android. However, my understanding, and we're gonna find out in a second, is that it also works on iOS because it just shows up as a sort of just mobile controller.
Yeah.
So it does have Hall effect sticks, pretty solid for 30 bucks. You have a USB-C port on the bottom for pass-through charging. Now this is not as full-featured as something like a Backbone, which also has an aux jack. For 30, 35 bucks, I'm not complaining too much about that. It feels decent. Maybe I wish there was a little bit more travel on the buttons. Wow, that thing is freaking big as hell. What I will do is pair it with the ultimate gaming phone, an iPhone Air.
You mean the thing that overheats like crazy?
No, it gets a little warm. So instead of like having like a really like rigid sort of grip, it's like this sort of these like rubber little like kind of fingers. And the USB port also, as you can see, it tilts. I like that a lot because especially with like a phone like the iPhone Air, which is a little bit thinner than normal, the port doesn't go in all the way straight because it's not expecting it to be so flat. That actually feels pretty good. And the light lights up. Why don't we play a little bit of Control, shall we, my friends?
Wow, Control with the controller.
If you have an iPhone and you have never played Control, it is absolutely worth $5. Look at this, man. Look at how freaking good Control looks. And you know what? Those Hall sticks do feel really smooth. Obviously, if you're pixel peeping, this is not quite as nice looking as something like the PS4, but I'll be honest, like, it does not look bad at all. So again, we're paid $35, so don't expect it to, have a bunch of crazy bells and whistles here. But as far as a controller, this sort of works smoothly on iOS and Android. I guess let me be very honest with you. We're looking at a lot of different items for this video. If you don't already own a controller for your phone, that should be your first stop. And especially with a phone like this, like it's still lightweight enough that I can just kind of just chill and game. Not to say that the whole point of my video is buy a controller for your phone, but you should buy a controller for your phone. Hey, everyone remember 5 seconds ago when I gave some very practical consumer advice? Not to say that the whole point of my video is buy a controller for your phone, but you should buy a controller for your phone.
Quote unquote practical.
Okay, well, how about buying a Switch Lite?
Well, I mean, that's really
I hate Nintendo Switches too. I feel like Nintendo Switches are ridiculous because first you got to pay Nintendo's prices, which we all know are nefarious. And then second of all, like what's the actual point? You could literally buy, well, a Steam Deck is much more expensive now, but you get so much more compatibility. You get so much more bang for your buck, including allegedly Switch games, Nintendo games. And even if you wanted Nintendo games, what grown person actually wants to play Nintendo games? You're a 35-year-old wanting to play Mario Kart Twin? You want to play Zelda? Sonic the Hedgehog? Like, don't get me wrong, those games are great in their own remark, but like, bro, like, I don't know. I just feel like I would look at my partner funny and bro was like, hey, yeah, you want to hop on Mario Kart with me? What? What? Absolutely not. Let's get on Minecraft. Let's play with real men play.
not practical.
I will say that for many years, I was the world's biggest Switch Lite fan. At $200, this was the best and cheapest way to get into the Switch and arguably to gaming as a whole.
And I want to, before y'all say I'm hating, I had a Switch Lite. I sold it for $30, which was a terrible deal. But at the same time, I had a Switch. So don't say I'm just hating for no reason.
However, I will say, as much as I love the Switch Lite, it is about at the end of its rope. This is a Switch Lite that, if you want to buy today, actually now costs $230. So this also saw a price hike.
That's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to get cheaper.
I know. And there are still Switch 1 games being released, but I think everyone has very, very quickly decided that the Switch 2 is the way forward. The amount of games that are actually coming out for the original Switch, I think is gonna dwindle very fast. Now I'll say that if you're willing to be a little bit of an adventurous fella, you can actually do a lot of mods to a Switch Lite. So we built one where we swapped it out with an OLED display, which made a huge difference to the picture quality. The other thing I would recommend is to just buy a used one, which is really what I think almost everyone should do. I mean, what?
Oh yeah. I was about to say that's how I got mine. I got mine off of eBay. And if I'm not mistaken, I either paid $100 or $80 for it, which actually also adds context to why I wasn't that mad about selling it for $30.
Talking like $100? I mean,
yeah, somewhere in that region.
If you just care about playing it portably, which for me a Switch is almost always a portable this sort of console, then the Switch Lite is still my favorite way to play. Like one of the things I like about the Switch Lite, you can toss this thing in a bag and kind of forget it's there. Well, you know what I'm really gonna say, right? I wish that they would bring out a Switch 2 Lite. The whole reason why we're doing this video is just, if you're a gamer, you're getting squeezed. But that's one of the things that I do want to try to highlight is that there are still options. And there's some unique options out there that I think a lot of people might not normally consider, but might be worth a look. Like You have to follow me down. I was gonna
okay.
surprise. I was gonna
Yeah,
pop
no,
up.
I got you, I got
Like this, the Evercade. The Evercade VSR. There's a couple of versions of the Evercade. It is a true throwback to old school gaming devices. So the Evercade actually uses real game cartridges. Now the games.
See, the thing about things like this is that they're cool in concept, but the hassle to actually do them is so much that I would never want to do it. I don't want to buy real game cartridges. And I'm not somebody who is just so opposed to physical media or just having a hobby in something. Like Twin, I still buy vinyls. I have a record player. But when it comes to games, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's literally dumb to do that. At the same time, though, I feel like I have to be kind of in the middle about it because I get what it's like to have a hobby and just like collecting things and stuff like that. But I can never recommend somebody to do this as their main way of gaming. You know what I mean? I feel like when you do stuff like this, it's like almost like having a hobby within a hobby.
You're gonna play on the Evercade are largely older titles from Amazon. We paid how much for this again?
We paid $120.
I don't think it comes with any games, and I know that when we bought just one game here, it was not cheap. Wow, the controller is huge. What the hell?
Hey man, nostalgia.
You can tell it's definitely designed for old school games because it's literally just a D-pad, ABXY, a start and select, and a center button. And then we have the Evercade itself. Oh, that's kind of weird. So it's got micro USB? No, micro USB?
It was released in 2021, so yeah.
Oh, it's old. I didn't realize it's been around for that long. Oh, okay. You have 2 different cartridge slots. I wonder, is that because you can just kind of easily swap between games? Let me get this thing set up, and we'll see if spending $100 and something plus games, which might be a little bit expensive, is actually worth it. Okay, yes, I would love to agree to the EULA. I remember I used to do that every time I plugged in my Super Nintendo. Apparently, this one's coming in August of 2025.
What day is today?
What day is today? Let's say I want to get Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation. How to buy. So instead of downloading it, you just buy the physical cartridge. Can I download? Oh, I can play Old Towers. So you get a free monthly game with this? No subscription needed?
Yes. Now I do believe that it's like just the one game a month.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, cool, got it. Ah, okay. This, you know what this reminds me of? The old puzzles in Pokemon, like Gold and Silver. Why don't we actually try, because we did actually purchase a physical cartridge. The one and only Duke Nukem collection that not only has Duke Nukem Time to Kill in Advance, but Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. Ooh, oh, I like that cartridge, dude. It reminds me of like a chunky like Game Boy or like a really shrunk down like Genesis cart or something. Yes, perfect. So our games are here.
The one that, okay.
What game did you think we were gonna play? What a f***ing intro for a video game. Yeah! Is that Linus Tech Tips? Oh. Bro, go up. Oh, we can go into water. That's water? You know what? Let's play Duke Nukem Advance. I think that seems like maybe a game that actually is designed for a D-pad. Wow, that looks balls. But you know what? This is also not for me. Let's try the last game here, which is the one I think I most want to try. Oh, okay. Well, why am I surprised? Why am I surprised? Oh, we can go into Bootylicious. Let's go into investigate. Oh no, okay. Sorry, I'll leave Bootylicious alone for a minute. Well, what do we think about this? Because the hardware itself is actually decent. I don't know if the emulation is incredible. I've never played some of these games on the original hardware, but I mean, it seems broadly okay. But my bigger question is, how much are the games?
For the one that you're holding in your hand right now, we paid $30.
See what I'm saying, Tony? Like, you paying $120 and plus you paying an extra fee to play every game. And I'm not encouraging pirating, but with something like a Ein, Thor, you could pay the front fee like $200. Then you get every game that you ever want to play for free, allegedly, unless you know, like my boy here was saying, you feel me, you manually put your files down and you archive your stuff that way. But allegedly, I just heard through the grapevine that there is a way to get it for free. So you do the math.
It's a lot of money. It very much leans toward the like, I miss playing the Amiga and Commodore 64 kind of gang. And maybe not to call everyone who likes those games old, but if you had a Commodore 64, no offense, but if you want this for the nursing home, it's all yours. I'm curious, what do you think about the two?
Dope vid, man. Hey, look, if you enjoyed this vid, please leave a like, comment how you feel about the current gaming situation. Are you going cheaper games? You should. You definitely should. It's a lot of cheaper alternatives out here. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time.